Welcome to David's Dinner Bell. I'm David and I love to cook.
Come on, Daddy cooking.
Hello and welcome to the second episode of David's Dinner Bell. As many of you know, I like bacon, and for this episode I will be making a bacon log. Let's begin. I will be starting out with 1.5 pounds of thick sliced bacon and 3 pieces of wax paper. Set 2 of these wax paper aside and let's start laying out our lattice. And grab a slice of bacon, put it on your sheet. Now, size and width are going to vary depending on the cut and type of bacon. So what I like to do is I like to lay a piece of bacon here down at the bottom to tell me how wide it's going to be, and continue on. Reverse the direction of each slice. Width is going to vary depending on the cut and slice of bacon. With this particular cut, I got 7 across, as you can see. Now we start laying out the cross patterns. On each alternating slice, bend it back a little bit. Take your cross piece here, lay it across there, and with the other alternating slices, bring them all the way back. And just keep doing that until you're all the way down. Alright, we got a nice weave here, 7 by 7, and you'll probably end up with a few extra pieces, but not to worry. Fry them up while you're doing the rest of this so that you have a nice little snack to snack on. Take one of your other pieces of wax paper, lay it on top there, and set it aside. We're going to start on the fillings. In a mixing bowl, we are going to put in 1.5 pounds of ground burger. This is 80-20 mix. This is my preferred mix. You could use whatever you want. This is what I use. So just get that in there. Get a little depression there in the middle. Now, the baking process tends to dry out the meat, so I need to add some moisture to it. So I take a stick of butter, unsalted, put that in there. Add 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. Worcestershire sauce is very strong, so don't use too much. So 1 teaspoon is perfectly fine. And 1 tablespoon of blackened seasoning. This is, you can use any seasoning you want. I prefer blackened seasoning. And get that all mixed together. Don't be afraid to stick your hands in there. Okay, now that that's been thoroughly combined, set that aside for the moment. Bring the bacon back over. Our working area here for where the meat's going to go is the bottom edge, and 1 piece of bacon in on either side. It's not hard to visualize if you do this little trick. So take your third piece of wax paper, set it over all the rest. Grab a Sharpie. Trace that. Turn it over, and that's what we're going to be putting our meat in. So take your meat, dump it on there, start flattening it out within that area. Okay, now that you got that all laid out within your square, set that aside for the moment. Bring your bacon back over. Take the top piece off. Hold that back just a little bit. Fold it back over. See, when we roll it, we're going to roll it back onto this paper. Now, take your piece of meat here and flip it on. Line the bottom edge up over down back here. Just flip it on over, and should be able to adjust it. You're gonna probably have to work it a little bit to get the actual layout. All right. Now I used a pound and a half because I'm going to be putting cheese in here. If you're not going to put in an ingredient like cheese, you can go ahead and use 2 pounds. Now before I put the cheese in, I need to set this up so it can be rolled later. So I'm using bacon grease here. You can use whatever oil you want, but I prefer using bacon grease here because it's a very versatile substance. In this point, it's going to be acting as a glue. Get a nice all the way around. In fact, what the heck? Let's get all of it. Let's coat all of it. So, and you roll up your bacon over here. And over here. All right. Now, in the area marked off by the bacon over here, we're going to add cheese. I have 2 cups in here, but I don't think I'm going to be using all of it, but let's see. No, not quite all 2 cups. Got about a 1/4 inch of cheese in there. Okay, now we got all the cheese in there. It's time to roll it up. But before we do, we want to add a little bit of spice. I'm using blackened seasoning. You can use whatever seasoning you want. I prefer blackened seasoning, so get some blackened seasoning in there. And we start rolling it up. Now this is a tricky part, so you can just do it slowly. If you have patience, it'll be fine. Pick up the back edge here and just start rolling like a burrito. All right. Make sure your sides stay tucked in as you're going along. Doing nicely. And there you go. One bacon lot. Hold up. All right. In a glass baking dish, we lift up all the wax paper, put it in there. Lift it up a little bit on the sides so you can pull the wax paper out. And there you go. I would like to add a little bit more seasoning here. So I am going to sprinkle some more blackened seasoning on here. Okay, now that we got it in this dish, we're actually not going to be baking it in this. This is just so we can put it in the fridge for an hour or two to firm it up. All right. Get some cling wrap on there. Stick it in the fridge for an hour or two. Okay, we've let this sit in the fridge for an hour or so. It's going to be firmed up. I'm going to transfer it to a roasting pan. First, we don't want stuff to start smoking in there, so we add a bit of water to the bottom. Now, a little explanation here. I love to smoke food, but some foods just don't take well to smoke, and bacon, this particular dish is one of them. So I cook this in the oven at 250 degrees for 4 to 5 hours. All right, just get it close. It should be nice and firm. Should be able to pick it right up and put it on your roasting dish. Set that aside. And like I said, 250 degrees for 4 to 5 hours. Oh, by the way, I forgot this. The cheese that I used was grated cheddar. Mild. See you in 4 to 5 hours. If you have a meat thermometer, you want to look for a temperature of 165 degrees internal. Mine reached it at about the 3-hour mark, so my oven cooks a bit faster than I thought it would. So I am ready to take it out now. Be very careful, you don't want to spilling these juices. All right, we're gonna let this sit here for a minute or two and rest, and I'm gonna transfer it to another dish. All right, using your biggest spatulas, get underneath, get it all loose away. Get it on your nice big spatula. Transfer it over. Okay, now we're ready to cut it and see what we've done, whether we messed it up or not. Never know till you cut into it. It looks good on the outside and should look good on the inside. And of course the big thick end pieces are going to be my pieces. So everything looks really good in here. Meat's done all the way through. Cheese is melted in the middle. Now it's time to eat. Have a good night.